in between. We are in the thick of this NFL playoff hunt, and it's incredible. We had an incredible slate of games yesterday, some crazy moments, some crazy comebacks. Shout out to you, Josh Allen, for helping me defend my Twitter dignity yesterday. It was awesome. Sorry for those Patriots fans out there. I still think you guys are awesome. I still love Drake May. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. We have obviously some playoff picture stuff. We have Mahomes' injury. We also have Micah Parsons' injury. There's a lot going on. I'm going to give you guys a moment to get here, get dialed in and chat. Make sure you guys get that notification that went out because we have a lot of ball to talk about today. And I want to give one big thank you and shout out to Copilot by Microsoft for making this happen and for Bleacher Report for having me hang out every Monday with you guys. It's been incredible. I've loved answering all the questions in chat, teaching ball, learning new things. You guys have been great. But now we got to get into the mix because the playoff picture is deep right now. And we had some serious implications that came up this past weekend with some wins, some losses. Let's get to it because when you look across the board, there are teams that have chances to solidify their spot in the playoffs, to get a game ahead. And they've blown it. You look at the Saints. I'm looking at this playoff picture right now. The NFC South is a dumpster fire. The NFC West is a gauntlet. The NFC East, pretty much a lock at this point. Then the NFC North, the Bears take the North again. It's crazy, but these teams right here, these are the ones that have been eliminated. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, done. No playoff contention. Obviously, tough injury, tough way to end the season. I really feel bad for him. I know we meme about Mahomes all the time. We talk about the refs, this and that, but dude played his heart out this year. Mahomes played really well for the most part. And he was down a bunch of linemen. Their team didn't have the best year, but I do have a feeling that he will be back and he will be more dialed in. And we'll get to that later because there are some nuances to this injury that line up with some former greats. Also, Bengals didn't score a single point yesterday against the Ravens. They seem to be a dumpster fire. Would not be shocked to see a massive shakeup there. The Jets just fired their defensive coordinator. Changed play calling duties. The Browns out of it, Titans, obviously Raiders. And on the flip side, the Vikings now sitting at 6-8, out of it. Falcons won a game that they didn't need to win, but it's more about dignity at this point. Saints winning a game again. Like nobody wants that number one overall pick right now. And it's going to be a race to the finish, but I'm excited to see how it plays out. Commanders with a nice little win yesterday, I believe, right? We had the Commanders coming back. Cardinals, tough. Giants, also tough. But these are the teams that are not in this, okay? Let's now get to the teams that are in the hunt because this group is going to be fun. So these are the teams that are currently not in the playoffs, but 1, 2, 3, whatever can happen, switch things up. And these teams are not just out of it yet. So if you're looking at this, let me pull up my playoff bracket here. You have the Colts who just lost a really close game. They lost on a field goal. And after Phillip Rivers led them down to the end, Phillip Rivers got them the game-winning field goal that would have been, and then they left them too much time, and the Seahawks won. But when you're looking at it, the Colts are 8-6. Right now in the wild card spot, you have the Chargers at 10-4, the Bills at 10-4, and the Texans at 9-5. The Colts and the Texans, one game apart, but when you're looking at the division and the conference, the Texans have a game and a half ahead of the Colts. So even though the Colts only have one less win, one more loss, the Texans definitely have an advantage in a head-to-head. Then you look at the Ravens. The Ravens' only chance, in my opinion, of making the playoffs, especially after this next week, assuming the Texans win, is to win their division, which, again, tonight we've got a very big matchup with the Steelers and the Miami Dolphins, and both teams 7-6, 6-7. The Ravens could potentially get back to a spot where they could win the division, but they need some help. And they need to play perfect football the rest of the year. And then lastly, the Dolphins' only way to make the playoffs, and honestly, the only way at all to make the playoffs is to make it in the wild card spot. And if they lose tonight, I'm pretty sure it's over. But let's talk about the NFC, because the NFC also, you have the Packers. This is tricky. The Packers are sitting at 9-4-1. And now we know that one tie with the 4 losses is going to have some implications leading into the end of the season because the Lions are 8-6, okay? If the Lions win next week and the Packers lose next week, the Packers are still half a game ahead, okay? The Lions are going to need some help, and the Lions basically have to win out at this point. Also, the Bears now sitting at 10-4. They have a 2-game lead on the Lions, but the Bears are 1-3 in the division. So it is just crazy right now. We have so many implications. This stuff is going to come down all the way to the end. And then you're looking at the Panthers too. The Panthers, they're a team that has to win their division to get into the playoffs. Same with the Cowboys. It's about to be over for the Cowboys if the Eagles win one more game. They're at 9-5 right now. And the Panthers, when you're looking at the Panthers schedule, I can't believe they just lost to the Saints. I mean, that was a tough way to lose, but again, they have the Bucks, the Seahawks, and the Bucks the last 3 weeks. If they beat the Bucks, both games, they're in. If they beat the Bucks once, lose to the Seahawks, and lose to the Bucks, then you're looking at the Bucks schedule, because right now the Bucks are sole in the playoffs, but they have Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers. Guys, I don't know if we've ever seen so much parity in the NFL, but let's go look at the bracket of where things stand right now, because where they are right now could very well be where things end up. But let's start on the left side here, the NFC, okay? So on the NFC, right now we have the Rams as the first round bye. But you can't just bank on that, because this week, lo and behold, Thursday night football, we have the Rams and the Seahawks for a very, very big game in the division. The Seahawks need to win this game to have a chance at the 1 seed. Also, keep in mind, if they win this game, they would then be tied with divisional record, and they'd have one more conference win over the Rams. So I'm telling you guys, this stuff, I've never seen anything like this in the history of the NFL. So Seahawks, Rams, massive game this week. Then you have the Bucks. Are the Bucks going to make it? They've got to handle business. It's either going to be the Bucks or it's going to be the Panthers in that 4 spot. Then you're looking at the 49ers, okay? Stay with me here. The 49ers are sitting at 10-4. If they win out, which they have the Colts, the Bears, and the Seahawks, and the Rams maybe lose a game here, flip a game there, the 49ers could win the division still, because the 49ers are 4-1 in the division, 8-2 in the conference. 2 of their 4 losses have come on the AFC side. Guys, we are going to see a massive 3-week shakeup, or we could, over the last 3 weeks, of who wins, who, what, where, because of the divisional record, the conference record, and how close these races are. Now, I'm seeing it's over for the Cowboys. I think it's over for the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are playing for the love of the game at this point. I mean, especially considered you just took an L. And I gotta have it. It's over for the Cowboys. And especially when you're looking at it there too, you're going to tell me that you let J.J. McCarthy, I mean, I understand they had some rushing touchdowns. J.J. McCarthy had 3 touchdowns last night. It's just, they don't have the defense to do it. Now, bear with me. Eagles, probably going to be the 3, most likely. Chicago Bears are the 2 seed right now. Could flip it, could end up, again, we got a massive game this week. The Bears just lost to the Packers, but now the Packers have to go to Soldier Field without Micah Parsons, who we'll get to later in some of these injury spots. So just NFC's crazy. Then on the flip side, the AFC's just as nuts, because when you're looking at it across the board, Broncos are 12-2. Patriots just lost a game, so now they're a game behind. And the Broncos have the Jags, the Chiefs, and the Chargers the next 3 weeks. All teams that, Jags 10-4, good team. Chiefs, no Mahomes, probably going to win that game. And then you have the Chargers last game of the season. Chargers competing for a wild card spot and positioning. That's crazy. Buffalo Bills find their way to get a win. They're 10-4. They're 3-2 in the conference, or 3-2 in the division, 7-3 in the conference. If the Patriots drop one more game, and again, they got the Ravens, the Jets, and the Dolphins. This game against the Ravens in Baltimore, while the Ravens are fighting for playoff contention, you're not going to get a cupcake game, man. I'm saying, could we see 2 LA teams in the Super Bowl? I don't know. The Chargers are super injured, but they're finding ways, dude. They are finding ways. I mean, they got it done. They got it done against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. That's a tough game. And then one of the teams I really do want to talk about, guys, these 2 teams, I want to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars playing phenomenal football. Trevor Lawrence is finally playing the best football of his life. Shout out to Liam Cohen for bringing the best out of Trevor Lawrence, because We did not see this consistent level of play from Trevor at all in his entire career. And now he's got guys wide open. He's got a good scheme. He doesn't have to be a superhero. And he's getting help in situational football. So shout out to the Jaguars, Liam Cohen, for helping bring the best out of Trevor Lawrence. And last but not least, do not sleep on this Texans team, because this Texans team has the number one defense in the league. They're sitting at 9-5. They are on a heater right now of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight wins, okay? Could have been 8 straight wins if they didn't lose by a field goal to the Broncos, by the way. Incredible team back in November 2nd. And then now they have the Raiders, cupcake. They have to play against the Chargers. That's going to be a good game, but I really like the Texans' defense against that Chargers offense, who's got a lot of injuries. And then lastly, you got the Colts. I wouldn't be shocked, guys, to see the Houston Texans go on a Super Bowl run. You heard it here first. The Houston Texans with that defense could be very reminiscent of the Eli Manning Super Bowl that dethroned the Patriots on their undefeated run. Clip it, save it, add it to the folder. Can Seattle beat the Rams is a question I'm seeing in chat. Yes, they can. Seattle's defense, if they play perfect, can. Also, keep in mind, the Rams now, without Devontae Adams, we'll get to that a little bit later, without Devontae Adams' hamstring, looked like a pretty decent hamstring. They're going to need to give him time to recover, and the Rams are going to be hoping that they get that first-round bye. Now, I do want to move on. Let's move on to the next one. We've been yapping a lot. One more thing in chat. The Chargers could make AFC Championship. Is it Ejo? Hopefully I said your name right. They could. They've got to maintain their health, because they have been beaten up all year long. And we need a little bit better version of Justin Herbert than we've seen this past week, because he gave them some layups. So keep that in mind. Now, let's move to KFC, okay? KFC has been eliminated from the playoffs for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career. They just did not have the team to do it this year. They also didn't get lucky in situational football sometimes. Last year they won how many one-score games they won? That's just not, like you got to average it back out, and this was their year of averaging it back out, okay? Eliminated for the first time in his career, and then to end the game with an ACL. It's really tough, because it's not like he had an ACL injury in September. You're having an ACL injury middle way through December. Your entire offseason now is going to be dominated from rehab. You're going to miss all of OTAs, which is valuable time, especially when you get young guys in, some rookies, some free agents. You might be ready for opening day. Might. And even if you are, you're not going to be this version of yourself. Everybody knows ACLs. You can play after 9-10 months, but you're really not you until 18 months to 2 years out. Just like an Achilles, there's a little bit longer of a time frame to be you. It's tough. And especially in this kind of spot that they're in, yes, he's going to come back. Yes, he's going to be a good player when he comes back. But the timeline doesn't just affect this season. Obviously, they're out of the playoffs. It's going to affect next season as well. So keep all of that in mind. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. We saw some, maybe Andy Reid gets a reset. Maybe he goes somewhere. I don't know, but I doubt it. I mean, the legacy there is incredible. But if you look at the rankings, man, they threw the ball decent, couldn't run the ball for shit. NFL ranking, 15, middle of the road points per game. Their defense wasn't as dominant as it was in years past. I don't know, man. If I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm not super excited about the future. Defense points per game, solid. Pass yards per game, okay. Rush yards, okay. They were a good defense, solid defense, but their offense was lacking. I don't know, man. And I really think all of this comes down to their lack of a running game, their lack of ability to actually just pound the rock. I really thought they should have traded for Breece Hall. They didn't. I bet they probably wish they did now, because they had no help in the running back room, nobody that had any juice that could take it the distance. But the Chiefs are eliminated. And we got to move on, though, because we do got to talk some injuries here, okay? I want to start with Devontae Adams. So Devontae Adams, seeing chat rolling too. We'll do Devontae, and then we'll talk to chat, and then we'll get to the other ones. Devontae Adams' hamstring game yesterday. He's already been kind of dealing with it. It's going to be interesting to see how they're able to navigate the next few games, because when you look at their schedule, okay, we got the Rams. They're sitting at 11-3. The Rams' next few games, the Seahawks in Seattle on Thursday Night Football this week. It's going to be a really tough game. and told hamstring didn't look good. Doubtful for Thursday. I'm going to say it. He's not playing Thursday. And then he's got the Falcons and the Cardinals. I don't think we're going to see Davante Adams for the rest of the year. Okay? I don't. Rest of the regular season. We have 3 weeks left of the season. If the Rams get a first-round bye, that is the best case scenario, and you get a full month of recovery for Davante Adams. They need to shut him down, play their asses off, and hope that by the end of the season, they get that bye and he can get a full month. 3 weeks would be great, but they've got to be road dogs now. They've got to be LA Rams, go to Seattle, go to Atlanta, then come back to LA. Finish out the season with the Cardinals. They need to sit it down. They need to shut it down. Davante Adams needs to get healthy because they're going to need him in the playoffs, because when they can double Puka, it gets a little bit tougher. Guys are going to have to step up and make plays, but you really want Davante Adams because the whole offense comes alive when he's in the game. Now, before we get to the rest of the injuries, let's talk the chat. Baby Westbrook. Honestly, Houston would beat New England. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Houston looks like one of the scariest teams in the league right now. They're getting hot at the right time. They can beat anybody, anywhere, anytime in that defense, guys. Now, look, I played with D'Amico Ryans. He was the coach for the 49ers defense when I was there as a quarterback. D'Amico Ryans, he's got those boys playing, and they're playing hard, and they got talent, and they're winning 50-50 balls. They're getting sacks with four-man rush. Like, they are really a problem on defense, so much so that they're going to be a team that it's really hard to out-scheme how hard they are playing and how talented they are. Just is what it is. You're going to have a perfect game to play against that defense. And then you're going to have to stop CJ Stroud, who's kind of heating up a little bit. So keep that in mind. Seeing the Ryan, it's not a shocker if the Texans make it. I'm telling you guys, would not be shocked to see the Texans make it to the Super Bowl at all. They are being slept on right now. People are starting to talk about them because of their defense, but CJ Stroud too, guys. I did a film breakdown on my Instagram and whatnot the other day about CJ Stroud stepping up in the pocket after getting smacked. Like going to Arrowhead. It's pretty incredible, guys. Like, watch some CJ Stroud tape. Early in the year, I think his guys just weren't playing well enough for him. His offensive line needed some help, but CJ Stroud kind of pulling it together right now in their defense. They could win any game with that defense. I'm seeing a Bucs-Bills Supersonics. I promise you right now, the Bucs are not making it to the Super Bowl. I promise you, brother. I'm so sorry. 4L, I was in the stadium when Mahomes got hurt. You felt the energy instantly drain. Man, dude. It's tough. Like, I think, like, if you're not a Chiefs fan, you probably don't like the Chiefs. Or you just rag on the Chiefs or rag on Mahomes, whatever. Like, I'm one of those guys. I was sick when I saw that happen to Mahomes. Like, no matter whatever you feel, you never want to see a player of his caliber go down like that. It's just, he is good for football. He is good for NFL football. And I know what that road and that recovery looks like, no matter how talented you are, no matter what type of player, how much money you got, whatever. Like, that is a long, lonely road. And I know he's going to bounce back, but I know what the next 9 months are going to look like, and that's going to be really tough, especially following a really disappointing season for him. So definitely feeling some heartache for him. Now, Chase, not worried about Parsons. Packers are still elite if they want to be. Go Packers. I mean, obviously Micah Parsons brings a lot of juice to the table, but their defense has been playing pretty well without him. I mean, outside of him. And I know that he brings presence and like all that, and like now they'll be able to slide to other guys and whatnot, but somebody's going to step up. The Packers defense do have a good scheme. It's not like they had a bad scheme and a really good player. They had a good scheme and a good player. They're going to take a step back slightly, but I still think they have the guys in place to do it. I'm going to be honest. I think the Christian Watson injury is going to hurt a little bit more for the Packers. We'll see how long he's out. Now, maybe we've already gotten confirmation, but I haven't seen it on social media yet. Wild Scout, Bears at home will be no joke in the playoffs. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The Bears, if they run the ball like they did this past week, not to mention, guys, let's go look at the Bears real quick. Where are you? Okay, the 10-4 Bears, okay? The Bears this past week, guys, Swift, 98 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, over 5 yards a carry. Monangai, hopefully I said it right, 33 yards on the ground. Caleb Williams, 13 yards on the ground. Caleb Williams, 242 through the air, efficient. Like, big plays. Forced some turnovers, got some sacks. Like, I'm telling you guys, the Bears' run game and their run scheme with Ben Johnson, they make it tough. They make it really tough, so let's watch out. But we got to talk about it. Micah Parsons with the ACL. Now, Micah Parsons' ACL is really, really tough. Again, because I think it's even worse than Mahomes. Because when you're a freak defensive end that relies on burst and strength and all of it. That recovery to get back to that pop that you have, that freak whatever, is tougher than a quarterback. And obviously they gave up a ton for Micah Parsons. You never want this to happen. But I'm concerned that this injury for Micah Parsons is going to linger over into all of next season. I don't think he's going to be the player that he was this year, all of next season. And he's going to really need to work hard to get back. And I would really be looking forward to the 2027 version of Micah Parsons, because his type of player with his freak bend and like all of the stuff that he does, it's not like he's a Myles Garrett that's like bigger than everyone as well. It's not him. He relies on speed and quickness and burst. And the ACL for him, I fear, is going to have a more of an impact on his career the rest of over this next 2-year stretch than we will see out of Patrick Mahomes, which is really tough as a Packers fan. Also, let's move on to Mahomes again. I think he's going to be okay. But the timing of this injury midway through December, he's probably not going to get surgery for like a week or two. We're looking at, and he might not even, is he going to get surgery before Christmas, after Christmas, like all of that? Like maybe, like typically they want the swelling to come down, but like going through an ACL injury around the holidays, that's just tough. Like when you look at these guys as humans, definitely tough. But it's going to be interesting. I'm really interested to see when they decide to have the surgery, the timeline for recovery, how long it's going to linger into next year, because now you're looking at the AFC West and the Broncos are for real. The Chargers have gotten a lot better. Like their path to win the AFC West next year is going to be just as tough. But we do got to get to one of my favorite segments, our Copilot integration. And so according to Copilot, we've got some information for you guys, okay? So I typed in, what are some of the similarities between Patrick Mahomes' ACL tear and Tom Brady's ACL tear? Because if you guys remember, there's a lot of similarities. But according to Copilot, both Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady suffered eerily similar ACL tears. Each was a season-ending injury in their 9th NFL season, occurring after a Super Bowl loss, and both immediately derailed their team's playoff hopes. Like, we are seeing Back to the Future right now. Both of them in the 9th season, like we said. Brady's came in 2008, right after the loss to the Giants, I believe. Like the Super Bowl with the Giants was the year prior. And Mahomes, obviously this year, 2025. Let's see. Yep, the Giants. They lost to the Giants in a tough Super Bowl. That was his best year of his career. And last year, maybe not statistically, but team-wise, they had an incredible record for the Chiefs. Both were non-contact or low-contact knee buckling incidents. Brady's buckled after being hit. Mahomes buckled when he was getting rolled on a little bit. And so this is the other thing. When you're looking at ACLs, 8 to 12 month recovery, but the actual time that you feel like yourself, I would say from someone that had an ACL in college, had that happen, I would say is like 18 months for real. Like after 18 months is when you start feeling like yourself again. So keep that in mind. And let's see, the last one. Let's see here. Comparison. And they're both at the peak of their career, like 9 years, guys. 9 years, have won a bunch of Super Bowls. We questioned Brady, could he get back? Well, he got back, and he played like a bunch more years after that. But this is kind of where I'm looking at Mahomes' legacy. When Brady got back, guys, from his ACL, the Patriots were different in the last part of his career. And then he went to the Bucs and had to win a Super Bowl a little bit differently. I just think that we're going to need to see a different version of the Chiefs, obviously, than we saw this year. But I also think that, I think the Chiefs are going to have to shake some things up and start fresh in a lot of different ways, because their window is changing, especially considering what their division looks like. So we're going to move on from injuries. Let's talk to Chad a little bit. I'm a diehard Chargers fan, hoping to get a playoff win, hoping to avoid Houston. I'm telling you guys, like when you look at the playoff, let's go look at the playoff bracket real quick. None of these teams are going to want to play the Texans. And none of these teams are going to want to play the Bills. Like, I think that the Chargers as a wild card team are the teams that are like 2, 3, 4 seeds are going to want to play the most, assuming that the Bills and Texans are 6 and 7 in these final 2 seedings. But the Chargers too. They got the Cowboys this week, the Texans and the Broncos. Chargers could very easily lose out as well. So like they're probably, in my opinion, I think the Chargers are the worst team in the playoff bracket right now. But hey, you never know. I'm seeing DeRaven, don't sleep on Lamar. Lamar's got to get it done, man. And they got the Patriots, Packers, Steelers last 3 weeks. They got to get it done. They got to get it done, and we will see. But let's talk about Phillip Rivers' return. So can Phillip Rivers give the Colts a playoff chance? They're sitting at 8-6 now. They play the 49ers this week. They play the Jaguars the week after and the Texans the week after. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't think Phillip Rivers gives them a playoff chance. I think he did enough to, like, obviously win them that game. But more so than anything, I was impressed by the Colts' defense ability to slow down the Seahawks. But the Colts' offense playing how they did this past week is not going to be enough for them to make it to the playoffs or make an actual playoff run. Okay? All that to be considered with 49ers, Jaguars, Texans coming up. They will be the underdog in every single one of those games. 120 yards passing, not enough. Touchdown, interception, okay. Took a sack. I saw him fall down in the pocket. Like, I don't know. I love Phillip Rivers' legacy. I don't think he gives them a chance at all this year. So that's my opinion there. But we got to move on. Oh my gosh, we're rolling through time. Myles Garrett, 1 sack away from the single season record. Let's look at the Defensive Player of the Year odds, because he is the Defensive Player of the Year, which is just tough because he's playing on such a bad team, but he's got 21.5 sacks with 3 games left in regular season. I think he can get it done. He should get it done. Can he get to 25? I know that's his number that he's had written down. I definitely think he can get it done. Without a doubt, should be Defensive Player of the Year, even though he's on a terrible team. Looks like it's a lock to me, minus 10,000. But Myles Garrett, I hope he gets the record because I love when records get broken. Also, I hope he does it before the last game of the season because I don't want it to be one of those asterisk moments where, oh, well, there's an extra game. Don't want to hear that. But we'll see. He looked like he got a little bit banged up in this game too. So we'll see if that affects anything over the next few weeks. You can tell the Browns are running out of steam a little bit. They're playing hard, but they're not great. So, Myles Garrett, good luck to you for the rest of the season. I hope you get it, and I hope you get it before the last game of the season. Now, we do got to get to our last section. One of the plays of the week. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, as my daughter says from a book that she likes. Caleb Williams, incredible play. He has been better from the pocket. He's been more efficient, and he has been so dangerous outside of the pocket, guys. Watch this play design. So we got a little play action here. He's going to loop in, run a high corner. We're going to have a low cross, and then we're going to have a deep end line back here that you will see as this play develops. Watch our guy right here. Caleb Williams has been playing lights out. Little play action, going to get off the edge. 85 gets steamrolled, and now we have an issue because we are going to have to outrun him, and potentially some more problems. Now, when you're looking at this point right here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, all that are out leveraged on a route that wants to go here and a route that wants to go here. And then you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got more on the backside, okay? Watch this guy right here, because this is where once Caleb realizes, oh my gosh, there's a wall of people there, we have got to get backside on the end line, and we've got to make a play. He gets here, you see him kind of pitter-patter his feet, slow it down, and he realizes and recognizes there is one guy that could stop this play. And I've got to throw a perfect ball. I've got to throw a perfect ball from essentially the 28-yard line with 2 people in my face, across my body, and it cannot go anywhere but that spot. It has to be perfect. And watch what he does. Fading away, stopping it, high point, DJ Moore makes it happen. But it is incredible, man. I love watching Caleb Williams play. I think he's exciting. And look at the spot on this ball here, guys. You have no room for error at all. And Caleb Williams is the reason, not just the reason. Ben Johnson does a great job of getting them in good spots, getting the run game going, but Caleb Williams has this Bears team humming. And now when you look at what they got, we'll wrap it up here. When you look at what they've got to end up the season, guys, okay? Pull it up. The Bears' schedule. And here we go. The Bears are sitting at 10-4 atop of the NFC North. The last few games of the season versus the Packers, this week at Soldier Field. Packers had two tough injuries. Going to be an interesting game. They lost by a touchdown the last time they played 2 weeks ago, and they could have had a touchdown and tied to go to overtime. Keep that in mind. Then they go to San Francisco. San Francisco's 10-4. Okay, that's going to be another tough game. Sunday Night Football. They've got back-to-back night games. They play against the Packers on the 20th at night. They play against the 49ers on the 28th at night. And then last game of the season versus the Lions, who are going to be in a do-or-die situation. I mean, you got to be romantic about football, man. I know we've gone over time a little bit, but I definitely want to answer your guys' chat, okay? Let's get into it. Jags looking real good right now. They are, dude. I think the Jags are definitely getting hot at the right time, and Trevor Lawrence is just playing smart football, and I love seeing it. I love seeing quarterbacks navigate situational football, especially someone like him who's super talented, and situational football has been his knack against him for the past few years. He is actually growing, and it's great to see. Now, Phillips will mend the fence for now. They won't win a Super Bowl, but he can win a playoff game. I disagree with you, Darren. Hopefully I said it right. Duran, probably Darren. I don't think that Phillip Rivers can beat any of the teams that will be in the playoffs. Theoretically, could they win a playoff game? Sure. But I don't think Phillip Rivers beats any of the teams right now in the playoffs. Like the Chargers are going to be the best chance they have if they end up matching up against them, but I lied. They might have to play the Ravens or the Steelers, but I don't even like them to make the playoffs. I'm seeing Icy, the Bears can win the NFC North. I think the Bears probably will win the NFC North, given the Packers' most recent injuries. It's unfortunate. And Ben Johnson was a great hire. Yes, he was. He was, in my opinion, the hire of the year. He should win coach of the year. We'll see. We will see. But I love talking football with you guys. I love being able to do this every single Monday with Bleacher Report. And I love Copilot by Microsoft for making this come to life, making sure we have all the tech we need to draw up the plays, talk ball, and get dialed in. That's a wrap. I will see you guys next Monday. Have a great week. Maybe. There we go.